watching. Thank you for joining us on day 15 of Squattergate. He's still in there, we think. Big baby bone spurs is digging in like a tick in your stomach. He is hunkered down in the West Wing. He canceled his Thanksgiving trip to Mar-a-Lago. And according to one official, there is a bunker mentality in the White House, somewhere between Archie and Hitler. And ever since he didn't lose the election, Trump is said to be in a dark mood, which is a shame. He was such a positive dude before this. What he's doing in the White House, nobody knows. He's been tweeting, we do know that. Sometimes he leaves to play golf, and that seems to be it, which is weird because it almost seems hypocritical coming from the guy who likes to say this.
These people do nothing.
They talk a big game, and they do nothing.
They've done nothing. They do nothing.
I see these phonies, the do-nothing Democrats.
They keep talking. They do nothing about it. They do nothing about it.
I call them the do-nothing Democrats. The do-nothing Democrats, and they are do-nothing.
Joe Biden wouldn't have done anything.
The Democrats have been playing with DACA for years, and they haven't done anything.
He did very little in 8 years.
He'll come and say, oh, yes, we did this. He did nothing. He did nothing. And he got nominated. For 47 years, he did nothing.
For the most part, they did very little. So I did a lot. I did so much.
And I did everything and more than everything.
And more. No president has done more everything than him. This was his official schedule today from the White House. The president has no public events scheduled. This is the longest he's gone without taking questions from reporters since taking office. It's been 2 weeks now. You know things are bad when he doesn't even have the energy to go on the lawn and yell at Jim Acosta. What Trump has been doing is firing people for no good reason. After the head of his own cybersecurity agency publicly confirmed that there was no evidence of wrongdoing and this was the most secure election ever, Trump let him go. The guy's name is Chris Krebs. He was terminated last night via tweet, which is not normal. Usually to get rid of Krebs, Trump uses a little comb and some medicated shampoo. The fellas know what I'm talking about. Right, Guillermo?
Right, Jimmy, yeah.
This is, it's a dangerous time to be reasonable. Basically, if you work for Donald Trump, there are two possible outcomes. You get fired or you get COVID. Meanwhile, there are some folks in the White House who are working harder than they ever have before. Press Secretary Kayleigh Macadamia Nutjob is churning out the BS at 110% right now.
If the president doesn't win and Joe Biden it's proven that he is the elected president, what happens with the transfer of power? Will it be peaceful?
Look, this president has always said he will engage in a peaceful transfer of power if the facts bear out that way. But the president believes, and so too do many others, that if every legal vote is counted, he will remain president. He's pursuing litigation, but this president always wants what's in the best interest of our country.
And by our country, she means Russia. I know what's going on here. She just doesn't want to go back. Her job before this was she was the hostess at Applebee's. And they are so desperate to come up with something, anything that could potentially save this stinking ship, including all sorts of major breaking scoops.
As I'm coming to air with you tonight, Sean, there's reporting that in a third county in Georgia, in Walton County, they have found the same issue, a memory card that was not registered with votes. And guess what? These votes favor President Donald J. Trump.
Whoa. How could they forget a memory card? It makes no sense at all. And it got even better from there.
I held up these papers, these affidavits, 234 pages of sworn affidavits under penalty of perjury. These
by the
are
way,
from
Kayleigh,
one county.
What did CNN say about when you held them up on this program? Didn't they accuse you of holding up blank sheets?
That's right. They did about a 10-minute monologue saying these were blank. They're not blank.
They've got Sharpie and barbecue sauce all over them. They're not blank. That's their best defense now. The papers are not blank. The think tank in Trumpland is empty. Everything is bogus. Voting results, crowd size, witch hunts, perfect calls, Dr. Fauci, Rex Tillerson, John Kelly, John Bolton, Michael Bolton, Michael Cohen, windmills, caravans, they're all against him. The deep state, Hillary's emails, Pizzagate. Every week there's a new plot against Donald Trump. How much gas is left in this light already? 63 days, folks. 63 more days. Speaking of while we're on the subject of former presidents, tomorrow night our guest will be Barack Obama, who, for those of you who are too young to remember or did a lot of drugs, was our president just before civilization collapsed. So that'll be fun. I have a lot of questions for Barack Obama, like, where the hell did you go? Trump, by the way, is reported to be worried that Joe Biden is going to get all the credit for the COVID vaccine, which is ridiculous. I mean, you think of like the polio vaccine, you think of Jonas Salk, the doctor who developed, nobody remembers who was president then. Why would Donald Trump think he is responsible for the vaccine just because it was developed during his presidency? Should we blame him for directing the movie Cats too? By that logic. He's like, I demand credit for the vaccine that stops a virus I've spent almost a year denying is at all a problem. Apparently, Trump was planning some kind of big reveal, a vaxtravaganza of some kind, because of course he was. I could see it now, Ted Nugent and Kid Rock shredding on stage. There's a mosh pit of a bonfire of N95 masks. Every other tent is a kissing booth. Trump was reportedly planning to have a press conference at which he would read past headlines that were negative toward him. And I guess he'd say, I told you so. Wait, I don't know, how would that go exactly? Look at this. Trump silent on virus surge as cases rise. Told you. Trump claims coronavirus outbreak is a fake news media conspiracy. Told you. Trump's comment on disinfectant prompts experts to warn against inhaling bleach. Told you. Trump went golfing 25 times as a virus killed over 200,000 Americans. He wants to remind us of this? Go ahead. It sounds like a fun afternoon. The sad truth is, Dolly Parton did more to stop the coronavirus than the President of the United States. Schools are closed now tomorrow in New York. They announced that today. Thanksgiving plans are being canceled, and some businesses are running into problems figuring out appropriate ways to word their advertising.
Supermarket chain is apologizing for an ad that's been called completely tone deaf. Giant supermarkets ran the ad in the East Coast Chains magazine. It reads, hosting plan a super spread.
At least they were honest. You got to own that kind of thing. Make it your brand. I mean, if you're going to go, Death by Shrimp Cocktail is not the worst way to do it. And by the way, tone deaf would be a great rapper name, right?
Yeah.
Are you even listening?
I am listening, yeah. I was thinking it's great. It's a good name, yeah.
I feel like a gunman could come in here and shoot me 12 times. You wouldn't even notice.
That won't never happen, Jimmy.
That will never happen.
Yeah.
This is a big night for basketball, the NBA draft, which is usually in June. I have no idea when sports are happening anymore. I didn't realize how much of my life was scheduled around them. Today was the NBA draft. I don't know if you know, tomorrow's the Olympics, and the Super Bowl is the fourth night of Hanukkah, I think. Then the weekend after next, we have the highly anticipated return of Mike Tyson. After 15 years, Mike Tyson is stepping back in the ring to fight Roy Jones Jr. And guess what? He's joining us now from his home. Say hi to Mike Tyson. Hi, Mike. How you doing?
Good. I'm doing well.
It's very good to see you. Now, you're fighting the Saturday after next. The last time you had a professional fight was in 2005. Bush was president in 2005.
Yeah.
And after that fight, you said, I'm not interested in fighting anymore. I hate it. I think you said, I don't like the smell of the gym. I don't want any of it. What happened, Mike?
Well, listen, Jimmy, you have to understand, right? Even though I haven't been fighting, I'm champ of many, many countries. I'm champ of countries that don't even speak my language. And these guys wanted to see me again.
So you're doing this for the world?
Absolutely. They want to see me do this again. And then, of course, I know there's people that are jealous. And I understand jealousy is cool. I like jealousy. It's very inspirational.
Okay.
So I'm doing a lot of inspiration for people that are jealous.
You are fighting for the world and to stop the haters, is what you're saying.
Well, I love the haters. They inspire me.
Oh, all right. So, Mike...
Without haters, I'm nothing. Without haters, I'm nothing. I'm garbage. I'm nothing without haters.
That's what motivates you. Roy Jones Jr., he just retired a couple of years ago, but you are the favorite. Have you been looking at the odds, the gambling odds?
Well, I humbly say I don't look at odds of favor. I make my my reality happens
Right.
when I'm in the ring.
You don't even wear socks most of the time.
No, well, I won't need any socks.
Yeah, you don't need socks. That should be the name of this fight. I don't need socks fight.
The name of the fight should be Beauty, because check this out. I'm beautiful, baby. Look at me now. Look at me.
Wow.
Look at this body, baby.
Wow.
Look at this body, baby. I'm
Wow.
beautiful.
You do look beautiful. Have you been abstaining from everything?
Hey, listen, maybe not. No. That's for young people to do that. I already have my installed discipline.
Speaking of young people, I want to ask you this, because I know you are a boxing historian and a student.
I know a few things, Jimmy. I know a few things.
Yes. If 20-year-old Mike Tyson fought 54-year-old Mike Tyson, what would the outcome be? How many rounds? What happens?
That'd be a pretty interesting fight. But I'm telling you, man, that young guy, he's going to run into something.
Like what?
Yeah, he's a little reckless, the young guy.
Okay.
Think he got a hard punch and he could take a real good shot. I don't know if he could take one of my shots.
Well, we're going to find. Well, I guess we'll never find out. No. Mike, this fight's a little different. You're 8 2-minute rounds, which is shorter than the usual 3, and no fans will be in attendance. Does that make it less fun?
Well, I've knocked people out less than 8 seconds, and the fans didn't have a chance to see it.
That's true. Sometimes you knock guys out on your way into the ring, it seemed like.
Yeah, that's called lawsuits.
Will you be wearing a mask during this fight?
Well, I'm sure my opponent will be wearing one after.
An oxygen mask, perhaps? Some of the proceeds for this are going to charity. You're guaranteed $10 million.
Hey, I don't know nothing about money. You have to talk to my wife about this. I don't want no money. Take that money that belongs to them. Listen, this is not my life no more. I'm here to try to make things happen, make this a better place, man. I want to die with a good conscience, man.
You know, I know a lot of people might kind of scoff at that and roll their eyes, but I know this to be true about you because I remember many years ago, I had some idea that could have made you a lot of money, and you're like, when I have a lot of money, bad things happen. I'm going to pass on that.
Yeah, that was really tricky back then. Yeah. Time back then.
Yeah. Will you start buying tigers again or anything like that?
No, I'm not interested, but I'm interested in this dog and a couple of horses that I saw.
Okay, all right. A dog and horses. That's good. It's safe. And is this a one-time thing, this fight? Or is this like going to be like a senior tour?
Well, you tell me after you witness it.
Okay, all right. Because I have an idea. I would like to see you fight legends from other sports. Like, I'd love to see you fight Pete Rose, for instance.
I'm very good friends with Mr. Rose. That's not going to ever happen.
Okay, maybe you could fight Bjorn Borg. Do you know him?
That'd be a good fight.
That would be a good one. All right.
I like to participate in that one.
Mike Tyson versus Roy Jones Jr., Saturday, November 28th, Staples Center, 9 o'clock Eastern. Watch the fight on pay-per-view and streaming at TysonOnThriller.com. Thank you, Mike. Good luck.
Thank you so much, Jimmy. Thank you so much.
Great to see you. Break a leg, but I mean that figuratively, okay?
Hey, no, I'll break some jaws.
All right, pal. Take care. Hi, I'm Jimmy Kimmel. An evil wizard has trapped me inside this YouTube video. Click subscribe to help me escape.